The reason we're seeing a decline of Christian values is we're seeing a decline of Christian belief. So is Dawkins' position incoherent, or is it tenable in the long run?
I don't think so. It's kind of like cutting flowers and expecting them to continue to bloom. If you cut them from the roots, eventually they're going to wilt. And Nietzsche famously said, and I think he died in right about 1900, Dinesh, he said, if we kill God, meaning belief in God, we're going to kill man. And the 20th century was the bloodiest century in human history, partially because we killed belief in God. And when you kill belief in God, ultimately man dies. And that's the problem. We've severed the flowers of the Christian values from the roots. And when you do that, you're ultimately going to lose the values as well. So my job in my ministry is to try and show people that Christianity is indeed true, that God does exist and Jesus rose from the dead. And if those two facts are true, Dinesh, then Christianity is true, and we maintain the values of Christianity.
And one implication of what we've just been saying is that you can't really have a cultural revival in this sense without having a moral and a spiritual revival. Because, as you say, you can't have the flower without the root, and without the branch, and without the source of nourishment. So people talk about the fact we need to fix our culture, and it's true, there are some things you can do in the policy realm and perhaps in the cultural realm, but in the end, isn't it a fact that we need to restore the core belief of the West, under God, or as Jefferson says, our rights come from the Creator, and without that kind of root, no long-term cultural reform is even possible. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And he wants Dawkins, I mean, to his credit, Dinesh, he's at least admitting that despite the fact he doesn't think Christianity is true, he is pointing out that it brings forth great benefits to civilization. Now, we need to also point out that this doesn't mean in the past that Christians have acted morally all the time. We haven't. Christians in the past have engaged in things that disagree with what Jesus taught. But that's the illogical outworking of Christianity.